Welcome to A-Side Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a special guest. He goes by the name of Stephen Carter. How you doing, Steve?
What's up, Ray?
All right. So, of course, we have the panel here, the usual suspects, Marlon Parker.
What's going on, Steve?
Hey, what's up, man?
Carlos Massey.
What's up, Steve?
What's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah, we've been phone tagging it up, man.
Yeah,
it's glad to be here, man. Yeah. So, how you been, man?
Oh, I've been good, man. Just working around, but yeah, I've been good. Been doing pretty good.
All right. What you been doing lately?
Not too much. I'm actually starting to work out. I took a break from boxing, from all those years of boxing, but now, just started to start working out and said, you know what, man, I might actually get back into it 20 years later.
20 years, yeah, man. It's hard.
Just might get back into it.
Right. Yeah, it's hard letting that dog die, man.
Yeah, I ain't finished. I really ain't finished. I stopped. I took a break, and I didn't really know how long the break was going to end. Mm-hmm. But now it's 20 years later, and I got that fire back. And I'm like, you know what, man? I think I could do it. Just one more time. Just 10 more fights. That's
it. Well, Steve, you and I got something in common because I just started back at the gym, too. So I'm down 3 pounds.
This man starts over every day.
Back in you, man. It's like, you know what, man? You don't even think about your age. You just be like, you know what? I can beat these young boys, man. Right. And I'm going to try it, too.
Right. You might don't think about your age till you get punched. Like, they say, man, this young boy's strong.
Right.
Yeah, they don't quit.
Nah, I never quit. You know how it is. The man always think, man, I still got it. I still got it.
Yeah. Right. You always think that.
Right.
Until you get hit.
Right.
And then you show up in the gym with the John Stockton boxing trunks. Or looking like Camacho. All the young kids now there.
Boxing trunks.
Yeah, man. So, man, tell us a little bit about your amateur. I want to work up the line, but I want to find out your time and your experience in the amateurs, man. You were a household name back in the day, man.
Yeah, I know. And what happened was I started boxing in Pennsylvania, and I was only averaging. We would only fight once a year in the Golden Gloves, and so I was boxing. I started boxing. I was 16, and a friend of mine was telling me I only had. By the time I joined the Navy, I only had 20 amateur fights. And a friend of mine was telling me he was in the Navy with Coach Hunter, and he was telling me that about Coach Hunter and to join the Navy. And so I gave it some thought, and I said, you know what, man, I think I'm gonna do that. And I talked to Coach Hunter, and he told me what was going to happen, and he told me I'd go through boot camp, all that stuff. And then he said, right after you come out of school, you go to the boxing team. That was supposed to happen. Okay. But what happened was I went through boot camp. I graduated basic training. I went through schooling, and Coach Hunter has sent me it's a special request form to enter the boxing team. And I threw it away. I was only 19. I'm thinking, why do I got to ask permission to join the gym? I could just go to the gym. So I threw the form away. And he contacted me about 3 weeks later. I was in school. And he said, did you send that special request form? And I told him, that's when I realized how important it was. And I said, I lost it. And he said, now they're going to send you on the ship. And so they sent me on the ship. Man, I was on the ship for 4 months. Out of a 6-month cruise, out of a 6-month deployment, I was on the ship for 4 months. And then I came back and the whole time I was overseas, I kept calling Coach Hunter, telling him to get me off the ship because I knew nothing about it. I was on the box, right? So I'm calling Coach Hunter, and there was a time difference. I'm calling Coach Hunter at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, it may be like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning over there, or in the afternoon, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning here. And I'm calling Coach at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, Coach, you gotta get me out of here, man. I'm calling from Israel, from Turkey, from Saudi Arabia.
Oh wow!
And so I finally came over here to Norfolk, And that's where Coach Hunter, he said, well, you only got a year to make the Olympic team. This was in June of 1995. And the Olympic team, you know, the box house was in June of 1996 or May of 1996. So I had 11 months. So he said I needed experience because I didn't have that much. I only had 20 amateur fights. And that's why we kept going up to DC every week. I had from June of 1995 to September of 1995, I had 22 amateur fights, and that was against all of y'all.
Yeah. yeah.
And here was the thing, though. Coach Hunter's, like he said I needed the experience, but he put me in with everybody that could beat that he didn't have the potential to beat me. I never had an easy fight with Coach Hunter, and so he was saying, you need. My third fight, I fought James Baker. And I never, like I said, I only had 20 amateur fights, and they were like easy fights, you know, basically novice. And, you know, my third fight coming back from the ship, here I am fighting the guy that's ranked number 1 in the country. And I couldn't show no emotion around Coach and the rest of the guys. But man, I was having a panic attack. I wanted to cry. I wanted to go home, but I forgot I can't leave. I'm in the Navy. I wanted to walk home. So yeah, I ended up fighting James. It was funny because I fought James the first time, and it was a real close fight. And his coach said, you know what, we're gonna run it back. We're gonna do it next week too. And at the time I had lost. And at the time I was like, I don't wanna fight him again. And coach said, yeah, next week we're gonna fight him again. And we sure enough, we fought again. But the second time we fought, we both got disqualified for punching after the bell.
Oh, man.
That was my fault. I admit it. It's 20 years. I was trying to end the fight, man, because I didn't want to fight him anyway. So, you know what I mean? The bell rung, I cracked it. And they cracked me back. Yeah, so I was like, they disqualified the hell like that. So he didn't beat me.
Yeah, technically.
He took a Tyson. He didn't bite his ear, but you did enough to get the fight stopped.
He didn't beat me. Yeah. So, you know.
All right, that's awesome, man.
Now, Steve, your comeback. I gotta ask you, which weight are you coming back at?
Well, I would fight. If I was to come back, man, I would fight at 147. Because right now I gained so much weight, you know. I can get down to 147. Yeah, and the thing about it is that I feel healthy now. I don't feel. When I was on the Navy team, I didn't have, you know, a diet. I would just eat whatever I felt like eating, and then you go fight.
Well, you were young then. You eat whatever you eat.
Right. You ain't need a diet. You just, you know, you go fight. But now I learned how to take care of my body more. And so now I feel a little bit more healthy. And I'm like, you know what, man, if I can get down to 147, and it's basically the same thing what happened in the amateurs. You don't have a lot of time. And the amateurs, I only had a year and a half to make the Olympic team. Now it's like, you know, you kind of pushing, you know, your late 40s, man. You know, you sure you want to come back in a professional boxing and fight these young guys, and you ain't wearing no headgear. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you really need the money that bad. You really want the money that bad. You know what I'm saying?
It's early retirement.
It's just a competition. Yeah, I need something to do. I'm a competitive person.
All right. Hey, Steve, tell us how your experience in the military. First, I want to say thank you for your service.
Oh, thanks, man.
And how has your experience in the military helped you mentally going through a lot of tough fights? Because like Ray said, man, you were the talk of the town 119, 125 back in the day. So how did that help you get through?
I would start off with the boxing is what Coach Hunter. It was mainly Coach Hunter when you know, after I came from overseas and everything. I got to, you know, visit all the different countries. I had a bigger scope of the world instead of just Harrisburg and Norfolk, where we were at in DC. You know what I mean? I got to see the entire world. But when it came down to the boxing part of it, man, that was all Coach Hunter. He, you know what I mean? He really pushed me. And he had more faith in me than I had myself. Because, like I said, I wasn't trying to fight you guys. You know, I was hoping for an easy fight, but he was like, "Nah, you fight everybody." He said, "You're gonna fight everybody I put in front of you, and you're gonna beat them, or you're going back to the ship." That was my dilemma, because I didn't know anything about the Navy. It was either you fight these guys and beat them and make the Olympic team, or if you lose, you're going back to the ship.
Hey, Steve, I was trying to send you back to the ship. I just want to let you know that. I think my coach had pulled up on me, and I had been out the gym for about 2 weeks. I was just chilling, man, living a good life, living la vida loca, right? I'm chilling, and all of a sudden, my coach pulls up in a van and says, "Yo, we going to fight in Portsmouth." I'm like, "What?" And so I hopped in the car, me and my brother, we rode down there. And then I see this skinny guy with a big head named Steve Carter. And they're like, I was like, "Oh, this is, hey, whatever." I was like, they like, this is gonna be some easy work. I was like, "No problem." But tell me about your determination, because like I said, I mean, I could tell it, anybody else in Bright Force could tell it. I'm a small guy, but you pack a wallop, like, so you have a lot of like I thought I heard you say in one of your videos, you can either box them or you can just go straight at them, and because your determination will put you through. You have a relentless kind of determination. Go explain that.
That came from boxing here, because I was already boxing here. Like I said, I started when I was 16. When I was in the Navy, I was 19, so I already had 3 years of experience, and we didn't fight much, but we were in the gym every single day, and we trained like we were fighting that week. You know what I mean? So, and I was training with guys that been boxing for years and years and years, and so, you know, I was already an experienced boxer. I just didn't have any amateur fights. I didn't have that many amateur. So by the time I got to DC and got with y'all in the Navy, then I was just as experienced as they were. I just needed fights. So I was able to handle myself a little bit better in the ring, because I was already an experienced boxer. I knew how to fight. I basically knew how to fight. I just needed the fights so I could make the Olympic team. And so that's when Coach Hunter came in. He got me the fights, you know, that I needed. And you know, that was the when you said the determination. My determination came when I was in the Navy fighting y'all or everybody in DC was, if you lose, you're going back to the ship.
Yeah, that's motivation. That's motivation.
That was my determination. I had no choice. I was stuck.
I had one foot in the water. You was almost in the ship. You was almost on the ship.
Hey, Steve, I got a question to ask you. Out of all of your amateur fights, which one was the toughest? Now you can say it. It's years later. You don't have to, you don't have to worry about it.
I'm gonna tell you, it was.
It wasn't this guy.
James Baker.
Okay.
Because I was scared of his ranking. Because that's the reason why Coach Hunter picked him. Because we were looking at a USA boxing book in the gym in Norfolk, and James Baker was ranked #1 at 125.
No.
And I was like, wait a minute, I fight 125, and we go to DC all the time. I was like, I hope I don't run into him. And Coach Hunter, in front of everybody, said, "Hey Carter, you want to fight?" It's like he read my mind. He said, "Hey Carter, you want to fight James Baker?" And I couldn't say no because everybody was there.
That's when you hold your knuckles. Say, man, I think my knuckles still sore from the last fight.
You forget your mouthpiece. You forget your mouthpiece.
So look, so I said, yeah, I'll fight it, but I was thinking, you know, months, maybe years from now, you know, whatever. No, he was talking about Saturday. You know, he was talking about this weekend. Saturday. I didn't know that. And so I said, yeah, I'll fight him. You know, no problem. I'm not scared of him. So we went up to DC on Saturday. Everybody was matched up but me. And then
you would have guessed the honor. Exactly.
Everybody was matched up. And like about 20 minutes later, I'm sitting there laughing at everybody because they got on their game face and everything. And then he walked by me and said, "Carter, put your stuff on. You fighting James Baker." And my heart was in my throat. I felt like going home. I was like, man, I ain't cut out for this.
Yeah.
But I had no choice. You in the Navy, you can't just go home. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I, like I said, I ended up fighting, but I was fighting out of sheer fright. Man, I was scared to death, and it was dark. I couldn't see.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Hey, look, Ray's story was equally as scary. I don't know any good ending when the story starts off. I was walking down the street, someone pulls up in a van. Even if it's your coach, I said, "Where is this going?"
Right.
He said, "Hey, you and your brother get into the van, get out of here."
Skies are
Hey,
blue.
and it's crazy, like you said, like back in the day, a lot of people don't know it was so much talent. This area was just flooded with talented #1 fighters. And I know how tough it is to get there and prepared. Cause I think I had the same situation happen to me with. They told me I had to fight somebody. I had like a couple fights, and I'm like, "What's his?" He's like, "Man, you got like over 200 fights." So I was like, hold on, I only got 3 fights. they was like, report to the glove table, everybody went on there. I want to see him knock somebody out. I'm like, nah, he's not gonna be out tonight. So yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you just gotta get in there.
Carlos called in a bomb threat.
Hey, that was the legend. That was the legend.
And here's the thing,
They
man.
gonna set me up.
Everybody I fought had something different, and they all pushed me to the upper level. You know, it was never an easy fight. I fought right. I fought. Look, one of the toughest guys I fought was, I'll never forget, was Nesto.
Yeah.
Ernesto Rodriguez. Man, that dude
Nesto?
was tough.
Yeah, he was our sparring partner.
Yeah.
Nesto.
That was
It was his defense.
Yes.
It was a counterpunch.
Yeah,
yes.
And man, Nesto was just, man, and I fought Nesto. I fought James Baker twice. But the one time we got disqualified, which was cool. I was so happy. So we finished the entire fight. It was like we got disqualified at the beginning of round 2. You know what I'm saying? So
I ain't even sweat.
But me and Nesto won a total of, I think we fought 4 times. So that's like what, 3. That's like what, 12 rounds or something.
Yeah.
So I went, and Nesto won like 6 of them.
Wow.
And they kept, Nesto, look, we fought a total, I said 3, we fought a total of 4 times. And I believe, I know Nesto won the last. They robbed Nesto. The last fight, Nesto, man, he was great. I couldn't catch him, and they gave it to me, and I took it.
Oh, that wasn't the first time they gave you a fight. Right. Was it in Virginia? Don't worry about it.
But yeah, man, everybody has something different to, that pushed me to another level. And at first, it was fun fighting all those fights. But then after those 22 fights, we took a month off, and then we went into training camp. Navy training camp with Coach Hunter was the best thing, or it was the worst thing, but the best thing that I ever done in my entire life, man. If you put all the sports and everything else, if you put it all together, it was still, Navy training camp was still worse than all of those. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And that's why I think that's why I made the Olympic team, or I was an alternate, because you couldn't stop. If I stopped, if you quit the Navy boxing team, then I go back to the ship. So no matter how much pain I was in, I just had to.
Yeah, you went to go to that ship.
Land of water.
I have to ask the question: what was your ship detail? You didn't want to go back. What was the ship?
Look, I was in the engine room.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was the thing. Either when you go back to the ship, my job duty was in the engine. So I was down there. They call it the pit. So I'm down there in the pit, and it's like 200 degrees down there. We sweating, and the engine running, and we just, you know what I mean. So they were like, "Yeah, I ain't going back to. There ain't no way in the world I'm going back. I go AWOL before I go back to the ship." You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So that was my motivation, and it worked.
No doubt.
Shifting gears, I have to ask you about your comeback. What type of time, you're getting in shape, or you're getting back to, or you're contemplating the comeback? What is the timetable?
I said June.
Okay.
I said June of this year.
So are you coming down here or in Harrisburg? I mean, still some old guys left. Ray has something to settle.
Yeah, somebody got to go back on that ship.
But I said, if I can get down to 147 by June, then I'm fighting. Because
Well, Ray can't get down to 147 either.
My daughter used to go to Disney World and all these other places, but now she's 18, and so now I'm bored. I need something to do, you know.
Right.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start fighting again because I ain't got nothing else to do, you know. And I'm a competitor. There's, you know, I can't sit around and grow old. I need, you know, I need something to push it. And so I said that's a challenge, and you know, but the first time I get knocked out, it's over.
Well, look, I think we can make a catch. I think we can make a fight at a catch weight. Ray, you can make 160, right? It'll take you a couple of months.
No. It's taking 2 years to make 160.
I'm about to cut off. I gotta cut off an arm to make 160.
Drain like 5 pints of blood.
Yeah, no, man.
I try not to bring that fight up, man. Between me and Ray. Oh my God, Ray hit me with I think it was a right hand. And I tried to play it off like my foot slipped out of the ring because the mat was on the floor. The ring was on the floor. And I tried to play it off, you know, but nah, man, I was. You know you got hit hard when you feel that.
Right.
Oh yeah.
TV screen.
Yeah. I know. After that fight, I think I was in the bathroom for about 3 hours, man. I swear. I hit me with so many body shots, man.
That's what they said. They said, man, you're so short, Steve. The only thing you can do is go to the body.
I couldn't get him off me. I was like, man, this dude was like stuck on me, man. Every time I turned, he was. I mean, but that was good. It's like cutting off the ring and those body shots, using your height for leverage, that kind of stuff, man. You can't teach that. That's raw talent.
Came from Harrisburg, man. Yeah. I came from all those years of just being in the gym. You know what I mean? So, and but that was part of that was a good thing. You know, I didn't have all those fights back then, but being in the gym prepared me for all those fights that I had in DC. So I got the best of two worlds. I had a good training in Harrisburg, and then I had good fighting in the Navy with Coach Hunter in DC. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah. You talked about being a dad, man. How is it raising a daughter, man?
Man, see, I only have one kid, so me and her can do, you know, pretty much anything. But now that she's older, she's 18. She's you know, it's kind of hard now because now you have to. I wouldn't say bride, but you know,
we understand.
She could say, you know, she could say no whenever she feel like it. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But one thing about kids, man, is y'all gonna laugh, man. I miss the arcade, man. I miss Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, no, that's it.
I can't go in there no more now.
You better not. You better not.
Speaking of arcades, somebody tried to beat my record at the on the Punch Out game.
So I did. So look, hey Steve.
We're gonna get one shot, Steve.
Steve,
not 3.
Tell this man it doesn't matter how many times you hit it. It's how hard you hit it. I hit it harder than him. I think what I get like an 871.
After his third try,
I got an 871. He got like an 850. It does
on my surgical side, Steve. I just had surgery not too long ago.
No, we don't want to hear that. Hey, look, hey, look. I'm gonna do a boxing challenge. I want to get all the fighters in the area. Y'all gotta hit that bag.
See the numbers coming in.
Let's see what the numbers are. You're gonna have to. Everybody gotta report their numbers.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah. Post your video.
There you go. Yeah, we need video.
Right.
Trust but verify.
Yeah, man.
I want to see Marlon hit the what you want?
Go straight through it. Ray had an advantage. It's an obvious advantage. You know, the way his head is, the size of his head, and when he puts, you know, it generates a lot of momentum when he whips the head around. So that was it.
Yeah, he threw his head to that shot. I'm gonna say that.
It doesn't affect me. You notice this.
That extra weight.
Right. Oh, man, you gonna jump in. Hey, look, man, I'm unroastable. Y'all can't do this to me. It doesn't affect me, man.
Anyway, we got all dressed up. We're glad to have you, Steve. Carlos put the Beijing in his beard.
Oh, check it out.
This is all natural, man. All natural.
It looks,
Fresh line.
it looks crazy. I'm scared to do it. I can't, but you know.
We were afraid to film in HD because we didn't want that to
Hey,
distract
let me get him some.
you. I even plucked out a couple of my grays for this event. So
All good, man. But look, hey, this was a great interview, man. It's definitely good catching up with you and just, you know, having a conversation, man. I know we're all fans of the sport, man. So
Right.
this is awesome, man. You got any things you want to share before we cut out?
Yeah, just look for me before June. If June hit and I ain't down to 147, then it's over.
we can make that. We can make the fight at 168. We probably can get him down to 168.
Yeah, I messed with the scale a little bit for you.
Yeah. Oh no, maybe 168. We can make it happen.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks, man. This concludes our episode. ASAP Boxing. We're out.
All right, man. See y'all later.